Just gonna go on for a few minutes. I don't know. Did it start yet? I think so. Alrighty. I just wanted to check in and tell people that I'm not doing all that well, so I haven't been on as much as I want to. I just don't get to go on very much because I'm not feeling well. I'm having a hard time dealing with all this shit I'm going through. So anyhow, I just thought I would just come on for a few minutes and just show people that at least I'm alive. Surviving barely. It's cold here. There's all kind of snow and obstacles to overcome. And let me see if I can bring this up. I don't know. My daughter and her whole family is sick, so, and I just sound hoarse. I'm not like sick though. So just mostly detoxing like usual. Now how am I gonna get this up? There we go. I think that's it. Okay, of course I'm using my iPad here instead of my laptop, which I usually use to do my live streams, but it's not behaving like it's always making it difficult. Oh, no, that's not what I want. Okay, so anyhow, I had this weird experience yesterday. There was this shop that's in this town, and I went in to like sell jewelry that, I had some silver, mostly silver stuff, and some, what do you call it, gems or whatever. But I wasn't able to sell anything, but I tried anyhow. But he said he didn't buy silver, but I guess he just bought gold. I don't even think he bought gold, even though that's what his sign said outside. So anyhow, I'll probably make a little video on the outside of his store. He's got all these signs and posters and, talking about crimes against humanity and all that kind of stuff. But then I went in and talked to him, and we were getting along fine. And then this other guy comes in, and he said he was just in Maui, or he's from Hawaii, and he's saying all this crazy stuff, like he's not believing anything that's going on there. So I don't know what he's seeing. But then it turns out that they were both like Trump supporters, like patriots, and the one guy was calling me that, and I don't claim to be that at all, because I don't believe in Trump. I'm not political. I'm not religious. I'm not anything. I don't associate with any kinds of whatever. I just don't. Because then I can back up far enough and see things, what people are doing and how they're literally under spells, especially the religious spell. But I mean the political one too. And these guys were totally full on Trump, all for Trump. So I didn't realize what I had just stepped into. He has all these signs outside that I believe, like they line up with my beliefs. But then when I got in and talked to him, and then this other guy came in and totally influenced him away, he actually changed his own mind right in front of my face. He was telling me, talking all this stuff like he believed in, the same kind of stuff I believed in. But then this guy came in and totally influenced him, and he made like a 180 and started talking the opposite of what he was just saying to me. It's like, oh my God, this guy, I don't know what to make of him. And before long, he started, like, his whole tone changes. He started talking. He was all nice and friendly to me at first, and then he just totally started going off on me. Like, it's like, oh my God, I gotta get out of here. I was trying to actually give him some stuff because I'm clearing out my my storage unit, and I had all these cool old bottles, like the cobalt blue ones and the dark brown ones, and even the old clear ones that are, have the writing on it like walk-ins and different things. They're old ones, And I was literally going to give them to him. He could have them and sell them, but he's like, he started acting as if I was asking for money for them when I really wasn't. I said, you can have them. And he just started going off into these and it was like, whoa, let me get out of here. It was crazy how people can flip that quick just in a few minutes of, I mean, I was talking to him for maybe like 10 or 15 minutes when this other guy came in, and this other guy was trying to say that none of this is happening in Lahaina, none of it. He says it's all fake news. So yeah, fake news if you're listening to CNN or the social, the news channels, which I never listen to at all. I don't listen to the news. I don't watch TV. I haven't for like 10 years. I don't go to movies. I don't even remember the last time I was in a movie theater. It was like many years ago. And I don't know. It's just like this one guy that was totally agreeing with everything I said. After this guy came in, he totally like just turned on me, and all of a sudden like I was the enemy. And it was like, man, I gotta get out of here. So I got out of there as quick as I could. But it started off as a great interaction, but it just turned weird really quick after this one guy came in. So he's trying to, he believes in everything Trump's doing, and they don't do the vaccines. Okay, I can't get this to come up now. I can't get the chat to come up at all. Sorry, guys. So if you're trying to say anything, I see there's a few people here, but I'm sure somebody would be saying hi, and I don't know how to get it to bring the chat up again. So it says live chat, but can someone just type in one thing to make sure, because it's not showing any kind of a chat thing for me to read. And I don't know if it's because nobody's said anything yet, but it should be up there. But all I'm getting is a thing telling me to learn more, about the chat, and it takes me out of the whole thing. So anyhow, the other thing, I was listening to a couple videos talking about things that are happening to people that are unexplainable, like not just Mandela effects, that was sort of part of it, but it was just things that happened that people witnessed, like a timeline shift, and they were into a different reality or a different dimension. And it was just really strange to hear all these accounts of it in the video, and also in the comments where people were talking about their own experiences with these supernatural things happen. I found it very interesting. So I don't know if anyone has any things, like that, like they're seeing, like it's defying what they're actually seeing. Does anyone have these experiences at all they, want to talk about? Because I'm really fascinated with this subject, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to read any of things that anybody's going to say. So I probably won't be on here for very much longer, because this is very frustrating if I don't have a chat. And it's not letting me have a chat. YouTube is not letting me do a lot of things. It just shut me down yesterday or the day before. I got a 24-hour ban. I couldn't leave any comments under anybody's videos, because I was being punished for my hate speech, because I'm such a hater, right? Which I am totally not. I don't even hate the people that abused me as a child or even as an adult, people that I was raped by and everything. I don't hate anybody, because when you hate, that hurts yourself. It doesn't affect the other person at all. So anyway, I'm just really frustrated that I can't get this to come up, because I want to interact with people here, and it's not going to let me. So maybe I'll try again tomorrow, because this is usually the time. I was doing it on Sundays at 4:20 Pacific Coast time, and but I'm just on my iPad now, and it's not letting me do anything. So I don't even know. Maybe I won't be able to do anything on my on my laptop either, but I do that at the library. And but I don't have Wi-Fi here. I'm just on this cellular device that allows me, but I can't do it on my laptop. So, but that's better for me to do it on there. So I'm still living in the RV, as you can tell here. You can see the light coming through back there. That has got a blue tarp. Well, there's two tarps on there. There's a blue and a brown one, but the blue light still comes through like you're looking at the sky, but it's not the sky because it's really dark out and there's still snow on the ground, and it got really cold in here, and I stayed into a room for a couple of days, and now I'm back into my RV, and it's still pretty cold here, but it's not as cold as some places, like really like minus 20 degrees and stuff like that. So I have somebody that's helping me work on it, but he just stopped and left everything the way it was, and I need to get him to finish doing it for me. I didn't even know he was doing. He started working on it without even telling me what he was doing, and then I walked in on him because it's my girlfriend's boyfriend, and I was in there talking to her, and I came out and he was working on here, and he left everything the way it was, and it's not cool the way he left it because it left me frustrated because I can't do certain things. And he also made, I don't know, he's just still working on the roof to try to secure it better. But in the meantime, it's got all these weird things. He's got the seat belts holding things in place and pulling. There's like all these pieces of metal he had to pull out because it's still really tore up there, and it needs some work. But I have to get, when he's going to do it, I don't know. But he got sick. Now they're both sick, and well, I don't know. Yeah, she's sick too. And my daughter's sick, and her boyfriend's sick, and the baby's sick. Everybody's sick around me. And yet, I mean, I'm not doing all that great, but I'm not sick like them. I have other issues. Mine's more about being tortured and being a TI, and I don't like that word, but I don't know what else word to use. So, and I can't even see if anybody's saying anything to help me here. So, what a bummer. I mean, there's no point in having a live stream if I can't interact with you, because I hate when people, well, I shouldn't use that word. I don't like it when people put on a live stream and then they don't interact with the chat at all. They just go blah, 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 blah. They might as well just make a video and put it up if they're not going to interact. So I can't really interact with anybody and say all the things I wanted to say, which a lot of the things I want to say are probably going to get, like, they gave me 24 hours for whatever it was I said. They don't even tell you what you say. How the hell are you supposed to learn what not to say if they don't tell you what it is that you said? So I'm getting this all the time. I'm getting, like, in my video, the other day, they took a video down of mine that was up from over 2 years ago, one of my live streams. And they said it, it contained, medical misinformation, and there's always hit me up from some angle and don't want to let me talk because they know I'm saying things they don't want me to say. So, I don't know. I'll try again maybe tomorrow if I go to the library. But I don't know. It's crazy what's going on. So I hope everyone's doing well. And there's some important things I want to say, but I don't know how I'm going to say them without getting, attacked or whatever. This thing is doing something weird over. Oh, it's caught on there. That's why. So, I hope everyone's doing the saltwater thing. I do that anyway. You don't have to do it, but it's helping me. My skin is getting so nice. I mean, I still have these cuts from the Morgellons, but other than that, my skin, and especially around like my elbows and my knees, where it's normally really rough and have all these like lines and rough spots on them, my knees are so super soft. I can't hardly believe it that such an area would be that soft. And it has to do with my intake of the plasma, which is, water with the sea salt in it. And I upped it because I was taking too little. I should have been doing more. I've been doing it for a year now, and it's making a difference. I mean, just in the color alone of my blood and the thickness, not thickness of my blood, that is like super, you could tell it's super healthy, my blood. And that's, the blood is our lifeline. So, other than these other little imperfections and stuff like that, my skin, you could see my skin. Compare my skin to like Santos or some other, vegan that's been doing it for like 10 years, and look how transparent their skin is and how dark the circles are under their eyes, and they're just skinny and just not healthy looking. At first I think they're healthy. They get healthier because they're conscious of their health, and they're making a lot of other adjustments besides just, going for the vegetables, which are not meant to be eaten. You can go and see a bunch of these doctors are now coming out, and, well, certain doctors anyway, there's, like at least a half a dozen of them. They're putting up these videos talking about it finally, about how vegetables are not meant to be eaten. They are sentient. They are more sentient than animals. So all these animal rights activists, or the people going against, eating an animal-based diet, have no idea what they're talking about, because they think that vegetables are better than, fat and all. They're hurting themselves, and they don't even know what they're doing to themselves. So, but it takes a while for it to show up as, not so healthy for you. It takes like quite a few years before it's going to show up. So people feel the immediate results of it, but their consciousness has shifted, and they've started eating better. Like they're maybe not eating out and eating fast foods or junk, or, all the treats and chips and this, that, and the other thing. They're not reading labels. They don't, but then they start to do all these things. Their consciousness is changing, and they go to that at first, and then they realize after a while that's not where it's at. I mean, just the fat alone right there, they have at the top of the pyramid, sparingly, just sparingly. But I don't know. I've always eaten meat, but I think people make the mistake when they do this carnivore diet thing. They just eat all meat, and they're cooking the meat. So it needs to be as raw as you can possibly eat it. Maybe sear it on the outside, but keep the middle part red and raw. So I take when I open a package that has meat in it, I will drink the loose liquid blood out of it. And because if you cook that, it coagulates, and it also changes the frequency of it, and it's no longer really as good for you as if it's not cooked. So people eating cooked foods don't realize. I mean, think about it. If we went back to our original beginnings, when there's no stoves and refrigerators and all this stuff, people ate raw food. They didn't cook it. They didn't do all these things to it. They didn't even have stoves and stuff. I mean, way back. But then all this became normal for everyone, and they think that's how it should be. So, I mean, I still do cook things, and I'm still eating bread. I eat the best bread you could possibly get, like the sourdough homemade bread, not through commercial. I don't do any really commercial foods. I get my food from I use the raw milk, raw cheese, and, and getting food from like ranchers and farmers and stuff like that grow it themselves, and it's not all processed and everything. So just coming off of processed foods is going to make you healthier, even if you are eating the vegetables and stuff like that. The vegetables will help cleanse you, but they don't nourish you. There is no nourishment in them, and they are, because they can't run away and they are sentient, they're more sentient than the animals, and they can't run away. So their protection is these anti-nutrients that they give off. So there is no nutrition in vegetables. So then you would just be, I don't know, people can make up their own minds what they're doing, but I've never been on a diet per se, like following different things. I just followed what my body wanted, and I think that helped me. I think that's what was helping keeping me younger. I've aged so much, though, in the last 3 years from the stress of everything that I've been going through and whatever, the hell they're doing to us and everything. So, um, I'm not looking as good because I'm not feeling so good right now either. And I am under a lot of stress, and a lot of it is financial and a lot of it is emotional because I'm clearing out my storage unit that I've had put all my stuff in over 3 years ago when I started doing, the van life thing and took off to Idaho. Oh, it looks like it's showing up here. Who do we got here? Somebody said, okay, so it's showing and nobody said anything for me. Charlie, don't serve. Hi. So, what was I just talking about? Oh, so I'm having to clear out my whole life of everything. I mean, not just all my furniture and all my belongings and all these collectibles I've had, but now I'm going through boxes and stuff of like documents and medical records and all these different things. And then the hardest part is all the things like my daughter like made for me as a as a little girl, all these little notes and cards, and you're the best mommy in the world, and all the birthday cards she handmade for me, and pictures and all this stuff. And it's very I might start crying. It's so emotional that it's really taken a toll on me. Like, I can handle physical pain much better than I can handle emotional pain. So I'm going through a lot of this right now, trying to lighten my load and getting rid of a lot of stuff. And I'm literally trying to check out of this reality, this hell realm that it appears to be, that I just don't want to be in this realm. But I'm not going to like unalive myself. If that happens, it's because they did it. They somehow caused it. So I'm starting to document this because I know this is happening to other people, and I think they're starting to document it too. So I want to document that I am in a sane mind. I'm not, going to do that, but they're trying to get me to do that, and that's what they do to other people. I think they're trying to get other people to literally take themselves out, because that's the goal. That's what the Depop's about. So I gotta get some more hobo code going on. I keep saying that, but I gotta make up some words, even if it's just spelling them a different way or switching a couple letters around or something, so people know what it is I'm saying. And then eventually, if I say it enough, people will understand the codes. But there's a lot of crazy stuff happening right now, and it's hard to wrap your head around it and make sense of this world, because it's nonsense. It's a nonsense world. And I mean, if you lived back in the 60s and saw what was happening, how much it changed in the 80s when things started going digital and everything started changing, even before the internet, but like leading up to it, you would be able to compare to what's happening now to what was 20, 30 years ago. These things weren't happening, so you can see them. A lot of people, if you're under 40, or, well, somewhere like people under 40 were born into the system, because by the 80s they had already started leading into the internet, and they had already made these decisions that are taking place now. They had formulated these plans long before that, even way long ago, decades ago. And some of this stuff it's the slow boiling of the frog, just gradually putting in so people don't notice. But it's getting so obvious now. How could you not notice some of these things going on? So, anywho, so I will try to come back on tomorrow around this time, maybe a little bit earlier, because it's still kind of dark at this time of the day. I mean, it gets dark by now. And my body starts shutting down, because by 7 o'clock, I'm already starting to do my nightly rituals that I do, my self-care stuff, and try to get to be, asleep by 9 o'clock. So I have to go down by 8 anyway, because it takes me a while to get to sleep. I don't just, like most people, just lay down and go to sleep. I don't ever do that. And then I wake up in the middle of the night, and it takes me an hour, sometimes 2 hours to get back to sleep again, because that's just how I am. I don't know if it's because my brain starts to wake up and activate, and then it's harder for me to go back down. But I know I can't. I have to have more than like 3 or 4 hours of sleep. So I'm getting sort of interrupted sleep because of my heat situation, because it's cold in here and I have to keep getting up to get the heat. I have to start the car up to get the heat to warm up in here, and it's costing a lot in gas just to do that. Like, probably when it's really cold, I have to keep it running. It's like $20 a night just to keep it warm in here. So until I get another vehicle, I got to save up all over again to get another vehicle after I just spent $9 grand to have this just happen to me, like, whatever. But I guess it is what it is, and I guess I'm not supposed to have an RV because it's beyond me to be able to take care of it all the time. If I had a partner, that'd be different, but it's just really hard keeping up with all this, what you have to do to keep up with it, you know. It's nice, but there's a lot of work involved in it, and some of these things I'm not real, you know, I've learned a lot just getting this, but there's a lot to learn, and there's a lot to do, and there's a lot of upkeep, and it costs a lot, and, you know, I have to, you know, replace propane and the gas, and just keeping it going is like crazy. I didn't realize what I was getting into, and so now I'm trying to find another vehicle. Like, I want to get a, what do you call it? A cargo van, like a, you know, a conversion van where I can actually, with a high top, preferably, where I can kind of stand up. That was a nice thing about being in here, is like there's enough room in here where I can actually dance and do yoga and, you know, like sun salutations and stuff like that, where it's just a thin strip, but I can still stand and move and get some exercise, but can't do that in a car very well. So I was even going to do a dance video, but I need help to figure out how I can get around the music copyright to play a song, like whatever. And but so that's going to keep me from doing it. And I wanted to do it more as an encouragement to help people to exercise just by moving your body around, like just like I do dance interpretations because I'm a dancer, and it would help people to just have somebody to follow. And even if you don't follow me exactly with what I'm doing, you can make up your own moves. It's just moving your whole body, as many muscles as you can around, to keep your blood moving and keep your muscles flexible and all that stuff. So I wanted to do that where people can like follow along and do their own exercise, and then start their own little habit of, you know, doing it to exercise to music, to just to move, because dancing is the #1 exercise, because you use all your muscles, almost all, and then you could use extra muscles like your mouth and head, you know, like move muscle in your fingers and your hands and stuff like that, where people just go to the gym and they just exercise certain groups of muscles, and then they forget about all these other muscles that you have in your body. So I don't know, I think just movement is important, but you don't necessarily have to have machines to do it. You don't need to go to a gym. You don't need to, I mean, you could go hiking out in nature, that's great, but you don't even have to do that. It's just doing whatever movements you can do to keep your body moving. So that's going to be my next thing, if I can figure out how to do the copyright, to get around the music copyright, so I can do it to music, because it's not going to be quite the same, not, you know, with no music. So okay, that means my thing is kicking on when it brings down the light like that. So I'm going to have to go deal with that. So I hope everyone's doing well. And so I'll try to see you tomorrow if I can figure out, I'll probably do it around 3 tomorrow or something like that. Because the library, oh no, the library's open later tomorrow. It's today they close at 6. So I just thought I would do it from here because I don't know, I just didn't feel like going out and doing it. It's kind of miserable out. It's really wet and sloppy because it's rained on top of the snow and it's all like slushy and I'm slipping and sliding all over the place and I don't want to fall. So, okay, much love to you all and I will see you on the flip side. Bye.